Hello, this video here is on square roots and also just roots in general. A root is going to look like, it's going to have this radical symbol. This is called the radical or radicand. And what this is telling us in this case here, the square root of 49, this is asking us, I will type this, it'll be a lot easier and faster. This is asking us what number squared is 49. That's what that's asking us. What number squared is 49? Well, that's going to be 7. Because 7 times 7, 7 squared, is equal to 49. So if there's no number written inside the check mark part of the radicand of the square root, then that means that there's an implied 2. It's assumed that there is a 2 right here. You can write that in if you want. You don't have to. Because what this means here, this is called the cube root. So the cube root of 27. So this is asking us what number cubed is 27. So what number to the third power is going to give us 27? Well, this is going to equal 3, because 3 cubed is 27. That's the basic idea behind a square root, or a cube root. Now, it could even get even more complicated. You could have fourth roots or fifth roots, but these are the main ones that we're going to be looking at here in this class, is square roots and cube roots. So let's say that you wanted to find the square root of a fraction. So 1 over 16. And we want to know what that equals. So again, if you want to, you can put this 2 in here to remind you that it's the square root. Do not need to though. But when you have a fraction, we're going to break it up into 2 parts. We're going to break this up into the square root of 1 divided by the square root of 16. So we take the top part of our fraction, we're taking the square root of it, the bottom part of the fraction, and we're taking the square root of it. So now it's the square root of 1. So what number times itself is 1? That's 1. What number times itself gives us 16? That's 4. So this is 1/4. So the square root of 1/16 is 1/4. So if you have a fraction, then you can do that. Now, what if we did something like this? Let's say you had the negative of the square root of 64. So we want to evaluate the square root first. So the square root of 64 is 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. But we got this negative sign out here on front. So it's negative whatever the square root of 64 is. And the square root of 64 is 8. So our answer to this is negative 8. When we're taking cube roots, sometimes you might have a negative number inside. So let's say the cube root of negative 8. So that's asking you what number can you multiply by itself 3 times and get negative 8. Well, the answer to this is going to be negative 2. And let's look at why. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Well, negative 2 times negative 2, that's going to make positive 4. And then we still have this times negative 2. So it's positive 4 times negative 2. A positive times a negative is negative, so that's negative 8. And that's what we had inside. So the cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. So that is roots, square roots, and cube roots. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense to you if you are having any problems with it.